important new program that is available for families in our area. Wonderland Child and Family Services, a program in our area providing therapy and help to families for infants with developmental delays. Now they are launching a new program to help children who may have prenatal substance exposure. So this morning, I'm joined by Mary Kirchoff, the executive director for the program this morning, and Michelle Stiller-Bradley, the director of programs and services. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
So tell us about what you do at Wonderland.
Well, Wonderland has been providing services, birth to 3 services, for 50 years this month to North King and South Snohomish County. And our services are so valued and so beneficial to the community that our goal was to serve more kids and serve them better. And to that end, we launched a prenatal substance exposure clinic called Hope Rising Clinic.
And so how are the services here unique?
I will let Michelle answer that.
So Hope Rising Clinic specializes in serving kids with prenatal exposure to any substances. There really is nothing like that in our community or even nationwide that is as comprehensive and holistic as what we'll be offering. There's therapies and supports that are very specialized. Our team has had a lot of training in prenatal exposure and the impact that it has on brain and functioning and development. And we'll be providing therapy supports for the kids and support for the families because it's really difficult on them too.
Yeah, I mean, and talk about that. I mean, what are the signs that a kid is suffering from this? And they had I mean, it's heartbreaking because they had absolutely no say in this whatsoever.
Right, yeah, they absolutely are innocent victims in this, and often there are lifelong consequences. For children with prenatal alcohol exposure, sometimes there are delayed signs and symptoms, and so a child could look really good for the first 3 or 4 years and then start exhibiting some behavioral challenges, and emotional regulation challenges are the primary concerns that we see at that point. For some of the other substances, like opioids, often the impact is immediately upon birth, where they go through a withdrawal process, which is really traumatic obviously for the infant and for the family as well. So different impacts from different substances, but the one commonality is that all substances that the fetus is exposed to prenatally do have an impact, and sometimes lifelong.
Right, and so what would you say to mothers, or maybe someone who would hope to be a mother at some point, who may be using right now, and you hear this? I mean, nobody would want their child to go through that.
Absolutely not. If there is somebody who is using and they're thinking about getting pregnant, the advice is to get help before that so they can minimize the risk to the child. If they are already pregnant and are using, consult with their doctor, talk to a treatment facility, see what they can do to minimize the risk to the child during the pregnancy.
How big of a problem are we talking about here? I mean, obviously we talk about the epidemic in opioids and drug abuse in our area right now, and it's really, nationwide, even worldwide in some cases, but I imagine that the need for this is greater than ever.
It really is. We know that over 500,000 children per year in our country are born exposed to substances prenatally, and that probably is low because that's what we've identified. With opioids, 1 baby every 25 minutes is born addicted to opioids and needing to go through the withdrawal process. So it is really rampant.
I think it's important to understand that these aren't necessarily users or substance abusers. They might be prescription drugs that have been prescribed by their doctor, and mothers think they're doing the right thing and don't even realize the impact it's having.
Talk about the therapy that's available and the specifics of what goes into that for these kids that are affected.
Yeah, so it's a different lens that we're looking through than most other therapies. With the training that we've had in prenatal substance exposure, we really understand the impact that it can have on the brain. And so our team is able to look at what the child can't do versus what they won't do, and really help reframe behaviors and challenges for parents, for caregivers, for teachers, so that they understand that it is a traumatic brain injury, that the child is not willfully or not doing something or being oppositional. Often they can't do something and they have so much trouble regulating their emotions that they may have these outbursts and these rages that are really difficult to be around.
So how can families qualify for these services?
For Hope Rising Clinic, we have different eligibility requirements than for our early intervention program. At Hope Rising, if there is suspected or confirmed exposure to any substances, and there are some challenges that the family is having with the child, then they can qualify for services.
Okay,
We'll
this
support them.
is valuable information and a valuable service. Mary Kirchoff and Michelle Schiller-Bradley, thank you so much for your time this morning. And you can also visit wonderlands.org or hoperisingclinic.org, hoperisingclinic.org for more information. Tripping on the tongue. All right.